Good morning. Welcome to Energy Works. Today we're talking about spiritual healing. I was recently listening to a video by my mentor, Bill Davison, who, as I explained in the email of those who are on our email list, he was the one that was responsible for becoming a chiropractor. So as a youth, I had braces and thought that I might like to be a dentist. And then when I actually did my high school certificate, I missed out on being a dentist and was doing a science degree and thinking, oh, what am I going to do with this science degree? I don't really want to work in a lab. And I happened to have a treatment with Bill Davison, and he was asking me, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing a science degree. And he said, oh, did you know you could do chiropractic with a science degree? And it was like, oh. So it was like a light bulb moment. And not only did he help me make that decision, he also was instrumental in supporting me through that process. So he allowed me to work in his clinic part-time and doing massage on clients, and he also taught me kinesiology and lots of different techniques and things that he understood and learned, which I still use. And he was an amazing person and still is an amazing person. So he's had a number of difficulties in his life, and he made a video recently about the latest difficulty in which he nearly lost his life again. So good morning, Margaret. So he had a spiritual experience in which he really felt a big change in his heart and in his view of life and how he saw things. And he read a book that he recommends. So if you get my email, you would have already had that link, but if not, I'll put it in later. I think it's worth a listen to what he had to say. And so he talks a little bit about, what his beliefs are, and also, he talks about how he's changed because of the experiences that he's had. So I guess each of us end up with the dark night of the soul, we call it, in which we have to, decide whose side we're on and what we believe, and, are we connected divinely or are we not? I think that's an important thing to know. And I think all of us have to come to that point that we know that we are divinely connected, and, how that looks for each of us is a personal thing. And I guess, if you want to go to the other side of it, our suffering is also a personal thing too. The things that cause us to feel that we're not okay, or things are not okay, or that we're not going to survive. And a lot of these things are challenges to our belief system and, the things that we hold dearly. And I guess the people that are nearest and dearest to us are the ones that are most able to cause us pain and suffering. And so allowing healing, maybe because of and through this suffering, is very important. And so I wanted to talk about some of these things today. Now, I don't want to set myself up as, the amazing spiritual leader, because I don't think I am, but I'm also prepared to, share some of my experiences that, good and bad. And I'm sure each of you have had your own experiences in which you know that there is a God, or the universe has your back, however you see it. So for me, I belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so for me, we have what we call priesthood power. So it's like the authority to have like a blessing. So at times of difficulty, I will ask my husband, who holds the priesthood, to give me a blessing. And when I have that, I feel instantly the love of I'm going to call him my Heavenly Father, and I guess my Heavenly Mother, and know that they are there, and that they understand that I'm struggling at this point in time and that it is that I'm needing help and that I'm probably not coping as best as I would like to. And, maybe that's the beauty of having these experiences where we don't cope, that we actually become a little bit humble and know that we need help and that we have to ask for divine help to be okay. And so in the last blessing that I had, it's probably about a week or so ago, it was acknowledged that I felt that I was in a hole and, that I had felt very smashed. And, it was told that I was loved and, that I'm doing okay and keep going kind of thing. So for me, those small experiences that we have that confirm, that we have that divine connection are gold, because it makes us feel that we can keep going, and that even though we may feel that we've totally failed or we're not doing a good job, we can feel that connection and know that, we are, that someone is aware of us and that we matter. And so, part of the reason that I do what I do is because I want people to feel that they have divine connection. I want them to feel that they have backup and that there is, a place for each of us, even if we are a little different, or even if we are not the same as we think everyone else is. It doesn't matter. And the world needs our little gifts and our differences and our points of view that are important. So, I wanted to talk about that. And each of us need to have those experiences to keep going, to feel like I'm not wasting my time. I'm not, I'm not a waste of space, and, I'm not failing miserably, because I think we all have days that we feel that we are. And I'm sure you've had that and do have it. And, if you have things that you'd like to share, please do. As always, I ask where you feel the stress or what's stuck in your body, what's challenging you at the moment. Please comment so that we can clear some energy around it. I think the other thing that can be useful too, I remember having some difficult time a number of years ago, and going to visit my father's grave and just sitting there and crying about the things that I was struggling with at the time. And, it was very, very downcast and, feeling that there was no hope. So I think our relatives that went before us really understand us, because they have our genes and they know the difficulties of our genes and of the challenges that we face, and that we do have backup at all times, whether we realize it or not. Are there times when the backup was obvious to you? What made a difference in your life? What were the things that really were crucial that helped you feel that life was okay? Please share if you have something to share. All right, so we'll do a little bit of energy clearing while I'm waiting for comments. So we're going to start in the throat chakra. Larynx shows up, and I feel like we should look up larynx in Ina Siegel's book. All right, so these are the things that Ina Siegel talks about. Well, I'm going to go over throat. Difficulty communicating, low self-esteem, self-doubt, self-sabotage. So feeling shut down, misunderstood, held back, fearful, frustrated, stuck, unworthy of good things, in conflict with self, and continually changing your mind. Difficulty trusting, feeling depressed, sad, hopeless, uncreative, and uninspired, thinking you lack choice. All right. So I guess all these feelings can get stuck in our throat. And I know, sometimes if we talk about things that are upsetting to us, you can feel it in your throat, and you try to stop yourself from crying, and you can really feel it's very sore in your throat when that happens. All right. So if you have Ina Siegel's book, you can look this up yourself. This book is called The Secret Language of Your Body. All right. So Jenny's mentioned here worrying about the effects of this lockdown on individuals that are alone and businesses that are going to go broke and feeling powerless. Yeah, it's very real, isn't it? And I think that's where our divine connection comes in, that, when you pray in the morning and you meditate, who comes to mind? Who do you need to send a text to? Drop a bundle of food on the doorstep? Or who do you need to, drop a little present or painting or just a little something to help, a person that might feel down? And, using that and taking that inspired action is really vital at this time. And I think each of us need to be a light. We need to show love and be the light to other people. As we receive light, we need to pass that light on. And I guess it's going to come through our throat chakra, that we express love and concern from above through our voices. So she says divine healing intelligence. So I would say Heavenly Father, however you would speak, please strengthen and improve my communication abilities. Help me to open up to wonderful new possibilities, enhance relationships and greater self-confidence. Thank you. So Julie's left a good idea. She says, knock and run, leaving a gift and a note. Perfect. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It just has to be to know that someone was thinking of you. If you have a sore throat, you might want to try the lion posture from yoga to help you heal quickly. So kneel and sit back on your heels, pressing your palms firmly on your knees, and spread your fingers as far apart as you can. Inhale deeply through your nose, open your mouth wide and stick out your tongue, curling it towards your chin. Open your eyes wide and stiffen your fingers. Exhale slowly through your mouth while making the roaring sound, ha. Repeat this posture 5 or 6 times. So we want to allow our throat to help us express love and concern and to, be this kindness and light to people around us. All right, so fear comes up here. All right, so this is again from Ina Siegel. She said, people fear the future based on their past experiences, and this is true. Fearful people are capable of betrayal, lies, prejudice, treachery, blame, rejection, harm, and violence. Fear locks a person into negativity, creating shock, anxiety, stress, and worry. It can also inhibit change and progress, as many people feel comfortable with what they know, and fear of change makes them stuck where they are, afraid to move forward. Fear controls, paralyzes, and imprisons. It prevents people from taking action, trusting themselves, and achieving their goals. It sabotages people's efforts by constantly creating setbacks so that they feel powerless. Fear also creates a sense of separation and vulnerability and concern that someone else has power over us. Fear impairs judgment, clouds thinking and limits, even blocks our ability to love and experience peace and joy. Fear contributes to many health conditions, including ulcers, urinary tract infections, venereal diseases, tumours, cancers, insomnia, sinusitis, sciatica, back pain, Parkinson's disease, obsessive-compulsive disorder, impotence, hepatitis, hemorrhoids, diabetes, cysts, anorexia, and agoraphobia. That's a big list, isn't it? So this is her method that she uses. So she said, place your hands on the part of your body where you feel fear most intensely. Breathe into this area for a few moments while allowing any emotion to rise to the surface with little resistance. Relax your hands. And so again, she talks about divine healing intelligence. So whatever you feel, whoever you speak to, you speak. And we're going to use this spirituality to heal wherever it is that the energy is stuck. So using the orange flame of purification, please dissolve all fear, anxiety, worry, and powerlessness. Help me release feelings of helplessness, hopelessness, betrayal, and trauma. Help me to find a blessing in every challenge and to focus on the best possible outcome. Thank you. And she says, repeat the word clear until you several times till you feel lighter. Observe the orange red flame moving through your body, mind, and emotions and energy field, and begin to dissolve all negative thoughts, words, feelings, memories, and images of fear, anxiety, worry, and powerlessness. And she says to do a love process. So what's your love process? What do you do to help yourself feel loved or to overcome the overwhelm? What do you do? So sometimes I listen to music that is uplifting, especially I think when we're going through this dark night of the soul, I think bad team really wants to stop us from having that spiritual connection or from having healing or the ability to go through whatever is happening at this point, because everything that happens to us is for a purpose and is for our growth and learning. And even though we feel like we've been battered or knocked to the ground, it is important for us to have that spiritual connection to help these things become, a blessing and learning and growth to us. Alrighty, so let's go into the brow chakra now. All right, so the thing that comes up in the brow chakra is understanding. So our ears can be involved here and our pituitary gland. All right, my perception enables me to help myself and others achieve their highest purpose. All right, Jenny's mentioned music helps her. Walk with the dog on the fire trail near home. Doing her art, phoning a friend. Yeah. It reminds me of that show, was it, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And you have all these different options to help you when you're stuck. And so I think we all need that list of options to do and to take action in when we're stuck and when we know, that what we see on the train sometimes or different places, they've got like a, break the glass for emergency, and there's, something to grab or a button to push behind. And I think sometimes we need to break the glass and press the emergency button and do whatever it takes to help us to be okay. All right, I cut through any illusion and find the truth. The truth is that whatever difficulty we're going through right now will pass, and even though it's big difficulties in the world and things have changed, I think about Viktor Frankl he was a prisoner of war. He was I think a psychiatrist, and he decided that even though he lost everything, that he could still make a difference. And I think that's with us. Even if we're going through difficulties externally right now, we can make a difference, and we need to make a difference. And even it's just that small, the knock and run and leaving the note with a gift, that's a good thing to do. And, there was one of our church leaders' wives, I think her name was Camilla Kimball. She saw someone, a young girl, got some beautiful material and there was a bit left, and she made a tie for her church leader. And she was going to drop it at their house, and she knocked at the door, and then she started to have negative feelings and thought, it's not worth to do that. But the wife saw her and said, come in. And she said, never stop a generous thought. So I think, I think that's a good thing to inspire us. Never stop a generous thought. If you think of someone and you think of something that might help, please do that. Please trust and have that divine connection that, whatever you give, you will receive anyway, and not that that's the reason to do it. Do it because you're going to feel good as you feel that you can take action and that you do listen to your spiritual feelings and follow those promptings and act. All right, so now part of our energy field is called the radiant circuits. Now, radiant circuits are like inner mums and like spare fuses. So when something is down or something's not working, these radiant circuits step in and make up the difference. So sometimes we push ourselves past our limit and we live outside where we should. Okay. This is often about mothering too, us being good mothers, how we were mothered. Yeah, living within our healthy limits is really what's coming up. And Jenny's mentioned, yes, doing something for someone else definitely takes your thoughts off your own troubles. I think it's true. And, I think it's being a good example to do that, even when we do feel troubled or difficult to do something good for someone else does help us feel that we have some power in our lives to make a difference. All right, so now sometimes the bones in our head, which have like sutures and should move, they get jammed. So someone's got a cranial fault. So Catherine says, I have a question. I have now cleared emotions from 3 different situations that have undermined me, and they have all been traced back to when I was 17 with an incident with my father where he tried to disempower me in the direction I wanted my life to take. These emotions were all lodged in different organs of my body. Is that possible? Surely once you clear an experience, it should not affect your life again. We talk about the onion. Sometimes we clear a layer and that's good for a while, and then something else will trigger that, or there's a deeper root of that, and there'll be another layer of the onion to peel. And there are different times that the same situation will come up. When I did NET, they would describe it as we're pulling up out of the files an original event or a screenshot of, where we were at that time. And there may be a number of emotions attached to that particular event. And, we may remove quite a few emotions to that it's not as raw or hurtful to us, but it also can come up again that there are still more hidden emotions stuck in there. So it is an ongoing process, and I don't think we don't know exactly when something will come up. And I think the more that we work on aspects of our past experiences, the more clear we become and the greater understanding we have from it as well. But I guess it's like if you have an accident or you fall over, sometimes you might, have initial injuries, might damage your wrist or your arm or break your ankle or something that will happen. But later on you feel that, oh, actually I did bump my head or, my fingers or actually I found a bruise here, or, we'll find other parts that were affected that we didn't realize. And so the trauma within our body can be hidden in different places. And I guess every time we want to make choices in direction and we feel stopped, we can feel that incident and its effect. So yeah, don't stop if things come up there again. Things will cycle through and spiral until we do completely get to the bottom, and that may take all our life. All right, so we're going to plug in a cranial adjustment. Where do you feel in your body things are lodged? Where are these things hiding? Whereabouts do you feel them being stuck? What parts of your body are complaining? Let me know. All right, so I'm going to go back in Ina Siegel's book again. I'm going to talk about the head since we're talking about cranial faults. So feeling frustration. Oh, Margaret's mentioned last few days, my left hand, fingers, the pinky and the ring finger has been sore. I haven't hurt them. Okay, thank you. All right, so left hand, okay. Susanna's mentioned her eyes. Thank you, Susanna. Right shoulder, thank you. And heart, right. Okay, thank you, everyone. That's good. Alrighty, so again, you can either use Feelings Buried Alive, or you can use Secret Language of Your Body. And if you look up your hands, so this is in left hand. Janet's mentioned left shoulder, neck, and right knee. Okay, so we've got both shoulders. Okay, thank you, everybody. Okay, so left hand, this is from Ina's book. She said, holds more feminine energy, complications from holding on to hurts from your family, mother, sister, wife, daughter, and so forth, feeling isolated and lonely, not knowing how to take care of yourself or how to find a clear path or direction, resisting life and looking for handouts rather than taking charge, handling situations and learning from these to become stronger and more empowered. So I think, Margaret, you do take hold of things that you need to do. And she even talks about, if you look up fingers, left hand, was the pinky and ring finger. All right, so ring fingers are connected to the sacral chakra, so holds connection to your inner child, and problems with addictions, lower back pain, and unresolved pain from childhood. Yeah, so you can sit and have a little ponder and talk to your body about that. So the little finger's connected to the root chakra, affects self-esteem, how you fit into the world and your rights. Problems connecting to your base or the earth, so feeling unsafe or uncomfortable in your own skin, inability to create and achieve. Well, that's certainly not you, Margaret. You achieve and create a lot. Struggling with addictions, depression, lower back pain or skin problems. All right. So she talks about releasing negativity from the fingers by using the colours of the chakras. So the little finger is the root chakra, which is red, and the ring finger is orange. So using a flame of that colour in front of you and pulling all the negativities out and putting them into the flame. And so she said, in order to make the healthy emotions stronger, gently massage or hold each finger with the intention of increasing that feeling. Then bathe the finger in the colour that relates to it. Do this slowly. If you're massaging, move from the base to the tip, allowing yourself to really feel positive emotions you're installing. So it's like you're pulling out the negative and you're going to put in something positive instead. I make a difference. I am encouraging. I am a light in the world. All right, so let's have a look at eyes now. Some of these feelings buried alive. Hanging on to feelings of resentment come up in the eyes. So what are you resentful over? All right, also something in your timeline, age 16. Okay, so let's go into the shoulders now. There's some stuck emotions in there. Feeling no mercy for self comes up. So maybe overburdening yourself, doing too much. Lack of inner peace also comes up. I guess that, we're talking about spiritual healing, and I guess we have to come back to the feeling of I'm doing the best I can. I'm asking for help. I'm showing love. I'm, trying to improve myself. That, today I did as good as I could do. That's enough. Tomorrow's another day. And, allowing yourself to feel peace that you did do the best that you could. Reading the scriptures or reading things that are uplifting to you, listening to music, hymns or other songs or things that have a high vibration that lift you, allowing your spirit to feel that enlightenment and to feel that spiritual peace. Okay, in the heart, something in the timeline. Age 17. Locked in by the negative words, by believing the negative words of others. Yeah. So when I was young, still in primary school, there was a lady who taught music, and so I went to a singing group, and obviously I wasn't the best at staying in tune at that time, and we were doing a particular performance and I was told to not sing. So that was very upsetting to me and, didn't believe I could sing. Now, later I joined other like a vocal group in high school and did a lot more singing and obviously was able to improve my voice. Not that I'm going to be, an opera singer, but I think the things that people say to us can impact quite negatively if we let them. And it's almost like we have to undo those words and take them out of our body because it's like they've been stuck there. And sometimes people say things out of their own fear. Our parents can be scared for us to make choices that perhaps they don't think are practical or reasonable, and so then they stop us from acting on what we feel is right for us because of their fears. So let's say I easily release all the negativity that's spoken to me in my life. And what would we like to feel instead? What are the feelings that you want to feel? Peace comes to mind for me. To feel loved, to feel accepted, to feel honoured. Anything else come to mind? Age 19 comes up as well. Age 16 as well. All right, and also C1, which is the highest vertebra just under our skull. Okay, Jenny's mentioned I am enough. I'm doing enough. Yeah. And sometimes I can get very stuck in doing too, and sometimes we forget to be. And sometimes we need to just feel that we are enough, and then we can do as we feel enough, and we can act on what we feel and what we are prompted to do. All right, so C1, what comes up here is don't care what happens to me attitude. And sometimes that is a useful attitude, and sometimes it's not useful. So I think about like firefighters and, people that rescue others. Sometimes they put themselves in danger to help others. So, they have that I don't care what happens to me temporarily, but we can't have that attitude all our life because that's dangerous to our health and our happiness. All right, so let's go into our base chakra. And we're going to use Jenny's book. All right, so the feeling of being hopeless is stuck in our first chakra. And if we're going to release hopeless, what can we put in instead? Hopeful, perhaps? Inspired? This is from Feelings Buried Alive. The opposite is trusting, reassured, hopeful, optimistic. All right, so hopeful is weak. All right, so some generational baggage there preventing us from being hopeful. Dad's side, Dad's mum, and the men on that side. All righty, so let's check in now. So the shoulder people, how are the shoulders going? The hand, are there still feelings there or still things bothering us? The eyes, if anyone can comment on the things that we've mentioned. And while I'm doing that, just by way of announcement, I'm going to do an Energy Works, hopefully in person, on, I think it's the 23rd to the 25th of September. So that's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the clinic. We'll probably have to limit it to, at the moment, 5 people, unless that changes with the lockdowns and whatever. But hopefully by then it'll be a bit freer. Susanna said better, shoulders good. Okay. Thank you for those that commented. Yes, if you would like to come, whether you haven't learned energy before and you want to learn energy, you're welcome to come. We also have intention to do one in October. Still not quite clear on the dates, but the later part of October. All righty. Thank you for those that commented. Thank you for being on in the group. When you have your spiritual experiences and you feel that you're able to share or you would want to share, you can either share in the group, or if you want to be more personal one-on-one, please feel free to message me. I would love to hear your experiences. And I think our shared experiences help uplift each other to feel that things will be okay. And, trust that you are making a difference just by being you. And, that as you do the small, lovely things for yourself and for other people, we feel more able to shine our light and to make a difference to those that are stuck and having difficulties. Anyway, thank you. Have a great day.